Say how you doing today? How are you doing today? I am your host, Lacey G. Soldier Turner, and today, man, I have a very special guest with me. To me, this guy is one of the greatest actors. Y'all done seen him in Straight Outta Compton. He'd have been on The Shy. Like even watching him, like in on other interviews or films or whatever, always see that he has a great spirit. And sometimes when you meet people like in Hollywood and everything, they had a stuck-up attitude, all this type of stuff. But man, I can tell this guy is very genuine, and we finna get into it, in this interview. So I want to welcome you to the wonderful, amazing, talented Jason Mitchell, man. Welcome to the platform.
What's popping, my guy? What's popping, man? Thank you for having me, bro. For real.
No problem, no problem. So I want to get ask you a couple questions today. So the first question: where were you born and raised, and how was your upbringing as a child?
It's funny, right? Because my mom was in the army for 20 years. So I was actually born in Würzburg, Germany, right? Like in the hospital in Munich. So I don't know. I had to be maybe 2 or 3 years old by the time we moved to New Orleans. But I moved to New Orleans and I was there till I was in like the second grade. Then we moved to Belgium, right? Random as hell. We moved to Belgium. And I stayed there for like, I don't know, 3-4 years, something like that. And then we came back to New Orleans again. You get what I'm saying? So, I grew up in the hood, but definitely was cultured like at the same time. And I was blessed enough to see a bunch of different cultures and a bunch of different type of people, and grew up with basically free healthcare and shit like that. You know what I mean? So I had like the best of both worlds growing up. You know what I'm saying? But I definitely still jumped off the porch in the hood. You know what I mean? So I lived that life, man, for a while. You know what I'm saying? My dad passed when I was like 15 years old. He committed suicide and shit. So my whole thing was the best way to help my mom or to help myself, was to help myself. You know what I mean?
Gotcha.
So yeah, I bumped my head quite a few times. You know what I mean? But I was outside, man. I was outside pretty early. So yeah.
Okay. And I also see, coming up in New Orleans, I also saw that you was friends with Lil Wayne. So how did
Oh
that come?
yeah.
How did that come about?
Well, so my cousin used to make beats,
Mhm.
right? Back in the G. And just to be 100% real with you, they had some activity going on too. You know what I'm saying? So they had this group called the Architects, right?
Mhm.
And the Architects, they made whew, um they did like the prefix, the suffix, you know what I mean? A lot of them mixtapes and shit with Wayne um came out. They did that, and they also did a couple things on the first Carter, you know what I'm saying? And they were supposed to get signed to Cash Money and all of that. And it was like a good deal that they had, but Bird had gave it to him like on like a Friday night or something, and was like, yeah, I want it back ASAP. You know what I'm saying? So they just automatically assumed that it was a fucked up deal, even though it was a good deal. And yeah, so in that process, I met Wayne, you know what I mean? And I used to go to the studio with them all the time. This back when everybody thought they was gonna rap, you know how that shit go. You know what I mean? So yeah, bro, I used to just be in there, you know, 13, 14, 15 years old, just watching him just get it in. And to be honest, that shit helped me stop dreaming and start planning. You know what I mean? Because the possibilities was right there. And a lot of people be like, man, I got big dreams and blah, blah, blah. But I was just seeing it in action so much that I started realizing that, like, I tell people all the time, like, the only thing sitting between you and your dream is a plan. That's really the truth. You know what I mean? And I learned that from being around people like him. And it's funny because they just had this thing. I'm out here in Dallas right now. They just had a shit called Togetherland. And Wayne was out here, and it was good to see him and Jay Gutter and Big Fee was in there. You know what I mean? I was on stage with all them and shit. It was cool. It was cool.
Okay. And I also saw somewhere you said I think you was in 11th grade, your best friend had got killed, shot 17 times.
Oh yeah.
Tell you
You
about
shut
that.
him up, bro. That shit was crazy. Um, it's crazy. Well, actually, he was in the 11th grade.
Okay.
He was in the 11th grade, and I had just graduated, right?
Mhm.
But He was like my little brother, bro. We used to, we both used to run around rapping and shit, and that's when we was all young and foolish,
Uh-huh.
So like I said, we had some other activity going on, but he used to look just like me. You know what I'm saying? And we would tell everybody that we was brothers and all type of shit. We used to go to nigga schools and battle them and all of that. We wasn't tripping because we'll take it to that level too. You know what I mean? We wasn't doing no tripping.
Yeah.
So yeah, like one day he came to my house because he used to hang with some dudes, like they're pretty because in New Orleans we don't really have gangs, but sometimes, they make gangs and this one was pretty popular, you know what I mean? For the sake of not making that whole situation famous, I'll keep the name under wrap. But they was pretty popular and it was deep, you know what I mean? And one day they came to my house like, yeah, we about to kill such and such. I'm like, why? You know what I mean? And they was like, oh, because this happened and that happened and that. And I'm like, well, what they got to do with you? You know what I'm saying? Like, don't you think that if you gonna put your life on the line and your freedom on the line for something, like it need to mean something to you? And he like, that nigga do it for me and blah 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 blah. And I'm like, all right, So he ended up coming back to my house that next day and he's just hanging his head and I could just see it all over him. I'm like, man, you did that stupid shit. I know you did. And he just was hanging his head. And then he left that day and that was my last time talking to him. You know what I mean? I blew his phone up and I could just feel it. You know what I'm saying? But
Yeah.
it was the people who he thought he was friends with, you know what I mean? Just used him as a pawn and then pointed the finger right at him when somebody came looking to ride. You know what I'm saying? Because that'd be the thing. When you get into shit like that, you can't just assume that these people who you gonna ride on ain't got nobody that's gonna ride for them. They probably definitely do. You know what I mean? So yeah, and when them people came back around to figure out who it was, they pointed right at him. So they just
Sad story. Yeah.
caught. Yeah.
Yeah, sorry to hear that, brother. But let me ask you this too. How did it feel when Hurricane Katrina hit New Orleans?
Bro, at first, like, cause see when hurricane season normally come around, right? One or two things happen. Either we end up having some sort of hurricane party, right? Where we go to the store, we buy up a bunch of shit, you know what I mean? You get everything you need, and everybody go to one person crib. You know what I'm saying? And we just be in there chilling, riding it out. Even if the lights go out, we in that bitch having fun. Right. So um we I remember when we first started smoking, right? We hotboxed the car. You feel me? And we was outside the car rocking this shit. It's orange and shit. You know what I'm saying? But I ain't want my mom to know I smoke weed, right? So I was like, damn. So we went outside and hotboxed the car. So we thinking when Katrina hit, like, yeah, we gonna find somewhere to go. We gonna chill. This gonna be the thing. Like I'm 18 years old. I'm like, yeah, this about to be lit, right? So then everybody started getting off work. You know what I'm saying? And we like, all right, maybe that might be a thing. But then my grandpa, who never, this nigga works 7 days a week all the time, right? He like, yeah, I think we need to evacuate. And I'm like, what? He was like, yeah, I ain't never seen nothing like this before. Last time we seen something like this, it was Hurricane Andrew, and yeah, we shouldn't have been here for that. So I was like, all right, bet, whatever. So I get like 2 or 3 outfits. I ain't tripping. It take us like almost 10 hours just to get to Baton Rouge, which is not even an hour away. You know what I'm saying? A party in the street, basically. And then we start watching the news, bro. I'm like, wait, what you mean? You know what I mean? And they like, we trying to talk to people who down there because my cousin, he had a Nextel phone. So this when we was chirping each other and shit. And that was the only thing that was like working. So we was telling them where to meet us and all of this shit, man. It was crazy, bro. Because in our mind, we thinking like, oh, all right, this is about to be like every other hurricane season. Man, listen, we sitting there watching the news, and like I grew up in Hollygrove, right? So they got like a major intersection, which is Carrollton and Claiborne. That's like the closest big intersection to my crib.
Okay.
They had waist deep water. I said, oh shit,
Uh,
bro. They man, listen, we ended up staying in Baton Rouge by my cousin's house in a dorm room
uh,
for like I don't know, maybe like a week. You know what I'm saying? And then we realized like, nah, this shit ain't gonna be able to work. You know what I mean? So
yeah.
we started bouncing around from like city to city, getting a little Red Cross shit or whatever. So when they finally did open the city back up, man, we had got like 12 feet of water,
Dang.
lost fucking everything. It was like, man, it was just, man, it was horrifying. You know what I mean? But at the same time, I was into so much fuckery at the time that it low key saved my life. I needed a new atmosphere. You know what I'm saying? And the same thing for my little brother. He needed something different. You know. But
Gotcha.
but yeah, man, that Katrina shit was wild, bro. For sure.
Yeah, I got you. So let me ask you this: how did you get into acting?
So after my partner got smoked,
Mhm.
right, I realized that like I need some new friends. You know what I'm saying? Because me and my sister, like, we grew up in the same house, and she always used to be telling me, like, the niggas you hang with, like, that shit a problem. You know what I mean? And
Uh,
one time I went somewhere with her, she took me to a dog bar. And I'm like, what the fuck? You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm looking around because I didn't realize that we was going to a dog bar. She was just like, just come to this place with me. It's on Magazine Street or whatever. You know, so I'm looking around. I'm like, all the art in here is of dogs. Yeah, yeah. So I'm like, okay, this is it's kind of neat, And my sister was like, no, it's a dog bar. They got dog bowls on the floor and everything for people to bring their dogs in here. And I'm like, what the fuck? You know, what is happening right now? Like, where am I at? You know?
yeah.
But then the people who started coming there was wearing like slacks and shit and pencil skirts and I'm just like, these the people you hang with. Where do you find these people in New Orleans? You know what I mean? And she was like, yeah, this is what happens when you do things with your life. You start to meet new people. So all right, So I heard about this ad on the radio or whatever. And they had a lady named Jacqueline Fleming who was had just moved from LA and started a new acting class. And me and my partners, we laughed about it and shit at first, but it was like, nigga, you really need to do that shit. Like, you be doing the voices and you be having everybody laughing. Like, you just a laughing ass nigga, my nigga. You should do that shit. So I'm like, all right. So I went, bro, and I had on like a 3-piece suit and shit to cover up the tattoos and shit. And like, I fell in love with it early and not late, But they believed in me more than I believed in myself at the time. You know what I mean? And that should be super important. You know what I'm saying? A lot of times people don't realize how much their environment affects them or infects them. You
Yeah.
know what I'm saying? Because it could be infectious. Like, because I never consider myself no gangster or none of that. You know what I'm saying? But due to the situations that I was in, I had to handle my business a certain way and handle myself a certain way. You know what I mean? So it was a blessing, but I got into an environment that people was like, bro, you playing. To really go somewhere. Cause I grew up around Wayne them, but I ain't never seen no actors. Like,
Exactly.
you know
Yeah.
what I mean? The actors
Yeah.
that we do have that's from New Orleans, they had to go to New York or LA or whatever to make it. So
Yeah.
I ain't really see nobody. So all I knew was grind, 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 grind. Cause I was trying to take that street mentality and put it into something else. And yeah, bro, it ended up busting like a mother. Shit ended up busting. I ain't gonna lie.
How did you feel when you got your first role?
Man, to be honest, like it wasn't enough, G.
Mm.
For real. And it's funny because like we joke about it all the time, right? About like how they got like different cultures on TV, right?
Mm.
So if I name you these names, Chloe Moretz, Stephen Graham, Jason Clark, Jeffrey Dean Morgan, Sam Worthington. Do you know all these people?
Nah, I
See
know
what I'm saying? So
one.
I felt the same way. Like they were stars, but it was like white people. You
They
see
weren't
what I'm
in your
saying?
world yet. Yeah.
Right. So in my mind, I'm going there, I'm being super professional. It's all going great, but at the same time, I'm like, I feel like I ain't making no progress for real. You get what I'm saying? And it was because I didn't know. I was so naive to everything that was going on around me that all I could think was, I need more, I need more, I need better, I need better. And it was a different mentality than most actors have. You know what I'm saying? Like I didn't develop thick skin like a rhino just going to middle school and high school. So by the time I get into this business, you telling me no ain't nothing. You know what I mean? I had that door to door sort of mentality and that vibe. So when I got the first movie, I was like, yeah, this shit is what's up. But like nobody believed me. Not my mama, my sister, my brother. Nobody believed that I did it. You know what I'm saying? And it take movies so long to come out that it
Oh,
was just
yeah.
like, it was the most awkward thing in the world because I felt like it was supposed to be special, but it didn't feel like that. You know what I mean? All I could think was, this ain't enough. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, I just kept grinding, bro. I kept grinding.
So let me get it to Straight Outta Compton. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I saw somewhere you was like 7,000 people auditioned or something. So how did you
Yeah,
get the role of Easy E? How did you even start auditioning for that
bro. So they sent me the self tape, right?
film?
And the self tapes are when you gotta obviously put yourself on tape
Yeah.
at home or whatever. And I was like, all right, this kind of some bullshit. You know what I'm saying? So they had a casting director, a local lady named Megan Lewis, who was like, yeah, you can come to the office. We are a part of it. You know what I'm saying? So we got you. We'll take care of you. Make sure you do good on this tape. So I'm like, all right, cool. So I go there, and Megan, to be honest, bro, she's like she's super Boston. You know what I'm saying? Like you'll damn near think this lady don't like black people. How she got it? You know what I mean? But she would always audition me and I never booked. You know what I mean? I probably read for it at least 20 times, bro, and didn't book shit. So I already go in there like, man, I'm scared to death, bro. Low key. But I went in that bitch full easy. You know what I'm saying? Wig, hat, sunglasses, everything. So I walk in and she's like, that's cute. I was like, all right. And she was like, but I'll take a picture to let them know that you went for it, but you can't you can't wear all that when you audition. Fuck. All right, man. So we do these 5 scenes, and I'm crying and shit. You know what I'm saying? Because it's the last scene in the hospital and shit. I look up, she crying. You know what I mean? She walked me to the car and shit, double high five me and all this. She was like, I think you got a real good chance. I was like, all right. But then like mad days went past. It was like, I don't know, almost 40 days that went past. And I was just like, all right, I probably didn't get it. But one day they called me and it was like, yeah, F. Gary Gray want you to fly to LA tomorrow. I was
Tomorrow.
like, tomorrow? Exactly. A large. Like, what? What are you saying to
On
me?
your own dime?
Right. I was like, listen, I don't know if I'm gonna be able to pull that off. You know what I'm saying? So they was like, all right, don't worry about it. We'll call you right back. So I was like, all right. So they called me back and they was like, yeah, he want to Skype with you. You know what I mean? So I'm like, all right, cool. So I went back to the same lady, back to Megan, and was like, listen, I need to make sure the internet is the best that it could be. You know what I mean? Because this is before the Wi-Fi and all of that shit. Nigga damn near still had dial up at the crib. So I'm like, all right, let me make sure this shit is hardwired. I need the fiber joints, you know what I mean, to make sure my shit ain't skipping. So she was like, all right, yeah, come back to the office. So I did it. We was on there like, I don't know, bro. I'm lying saying I don't know. It was an hour and 17 minutes. I never forget that shit. But yeah, we went through all the same scenes, you know what I mean? And just like me and you on here, all I can see is this nigga head like this. You know what I mean? Like he could, right? You know what I mean? And bro, I booked that shit right over Skype, just like that. Shit was crazy. My first time going to LA or to California, period, was on a first class ticket by Universal.
Right. Look,
Yeah.
and I also heard that you said you never heard the words that you got the role. So how did you even know that you was playing easier?
Bro, so my friend Mercedes Lindsay, right? She was a producer and shit. So they had me working with this guy, Aaron Spicer, who's like he like a celebrity to the celebrities. You know what I mean? He like another Susan Batson. Like they coach all the really good ass actors, right? So they had me working with him. They had me doing chemistry reads with other people. So when I was about to fly back to New Orleans after that, I was like, you think I'm gonna get it? Like, because I'm thinking, the other people who trying to do easy or whatever just ain't there because I'm there. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Or, they already big celebrities or whatever it may be, so they don't do shit like this. I didn't know what to think. That was my first time.
Yeah.
So Mercedes was like, Jason, Don't be foolish. Look around. What other Easies do you see? I was like, solid point. And she brings me into the production office. She was like, you see these pictures, these headshots? What other Easies do you see? I was like, bet. That was the closest the shit ever got, bro. She still never told me, but that was the closest it ever got. Because they ended up calling me back out and was like, yeah, we start rehearsals, blah, 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 blah. And I was like, all right, cool. But they never ever said, you booked it. You know what I mean? Which I was like, what the fuck? I'm still waiting. I should call Gary.
That's what I'm still waiting. Years later, you got the role. Though.
Right.
So I heard was Little Easy upset about not being in the movie, getting the role of Easy.
I believe at first he probably was, because to be honest, they did a worldwide search. You know what I'm saying? So, no offense to nobody, but like, how would you feel? You know what I'm saying? If that's your pops and then they get some British nigga, you know what I mean, to come play him, then you like, what the fuck, So I feel like if anybody was gonna fuck it up, it should have been Lil Easy.
Gotcha.
Right. And that was something that me and him kind of both agreed on, you know what I mean? But like instantly, as soon as I seen that shit, I forgot what it was. It was big though. It was like, I don't know if it was double XL or some shit, but they had put the article out. So I'm thinking to myself, like, oh no, man, I know how this shit go. Let me get on Facebook now. You know what I mean? Figure this shit out. So I found as many family members as I could find, but me and him end up talking. He was just like, bro, he was already like, when we hung up the phone, he was like, nigga, I love you. You know what I'm saying? It was like that kind of talk, But he had the welcome wagon waiting on me once I got there. Me and him still, we family, my nigga. That's my family now, All right. Yeah. But he was a little
So I also I heard it was a drive-by shooting in the first 7 days of filming.
Bro, it wasn't even a drive-by, it was a straight walk down. The shit was crazy. Because like we they got like a van that'll bring you to set or whatever, you know what I mean? These production shit, golf carts and whatnot. But on this particular day, like we in Compton, like, it's good people, you know what I mean? We deep as a motherfucker. We like, fuck it, we just gonna walk. So we start walking and we see, the street taped off, police standing out there and shit. But like that's normal for a set, you know what I'm saying? So as we walking, we like, they like, no. And I was clearly like in full Easy. So I'm like, I'm part of the movie. He was like, this ain't. I was like,
he's like, oh,
all right. So them pops we just heard was a real thing. Okay, here we go. But it was like broad daylight. You know what I mean? Nigga just laid out in the street. But I think a lot of people do that. You know what I'm saying? They take advantage of people shooting movies and they do some bullshit that nobody would ever expect and run off. And by the time people realize that it's a real thing, that person is already gone. You know what I'm saying? It's actually kind of smart. I hate that we do this, but it's actually kind of smart.
Let me blend in. No?
Yeah, they playing, right?
Well, let me ask you this. So how was it like reliving that era? Like seeing through the eyes of Easy now, and Dr. Dre and Ice Cube. How was it acting in this film and reliving those, bro?
It was dope as hell, bro. I ain't gonna lie. It was because for me, it was the little things. You know what I'm saying? Like the shit that I didn't understand at first. Because I gotta give credit where credit's due. And my homegirl, man, Andrea, listen. She came because a couple of people got fired behind this Jerry Curl, right? But she used to really have a shop on Slauson. She still got shops and shit, but she had a shop on Slauson, and somebody who really knew was like, nah, we need to go get her. You know what I'm saying? So they make me this wig that's like 17,000, and it was real human hair. So she had to fit it on me, then process it. So the whole time she processing it, and like we having this talk, I'm like, why did niggas even wear this? Like, what was going through your head to make you say I want a curl? And she was like, shit, if you got a curl, that mean you have money. I get it now. You know what I mean? So it was like the small things that was adding something to everything that I was doing. You know what I mean? And it was just dope because like Easy is one of the few people who ain't alive. A lot of them is alive. You know what I mean? So Like there was times like when I met Layla, God rest his soul. When I met him, bro, they had like 10 buds outside my trailer. I'm looking at these niggas like, what? You know what I mean? I open my trailer, smoke coming out that motherfucker. I'm like, man, who the fuck? And it's him in there on the laptop talking about, man, what up, nephew? Ooh, I'm looking like, who is this nigga, man? You know what I mean? But he was somebody who really ran with Easy, really had love for Easy. You know what I'm saying? And he told me all the real stories. So to get all of that love and respect from people who loved and respected him was, man, that shit was big, bro. That shit was big.
So how did you feel when you went to the premiere? You got to see it on the big screen.
Man, look. First of all, they did it all the way right because it was a black carpet event, not a red carpet event.
Okay.
So aside from just the actors, they got all the music people who showed up. You know what I'm saying? Like that shit was dope as fuck, bro. Like it was just another level. But I was also on my business game that night too. You know what I'm saying? Because I'm like, this gonna be because I knew I had done my shit for sure. I'm like, I killed this. I know for sure this about to change my life. So all the tickets that I couldn't give to family that they gave to me, I was like, listen, who can we give these bitches to who could give a nigga a job? You know what I'm saying? Because so that's kind of how that went. You know what I mean? But like, dog, I met everybody that night. Every big star you could think of, I met that night. And it was funny because when I first met Snoop, like mind you, biggest business night of my life, right? But I like to enjoy a little chronic from here and there. You know what I mean? So this is the biggest business night of my life, and I obviously I'm thinking this about to be a party. Soon as the after party, like it's about to be lit. This shit about to be crazy. It was not like that at all. It was just a bunch of shaking hands and talking to people and blah blah blah. Da, da, da. And in my mind, I'm like, man, I just really want to get out of this fucking suit and go with my friends and my family and just go enjoy this shit. So I see these huge security guards walking up to me. It's like 6 of them. Like, man, what the fuck? And then they just peel open. You know what I mean? And it's Snoop. You feel me? He still had tears in his eyes and shit. And he talking, he smoking, and I'm like, he was like, "You smoke?" I was like, "Yes." Thank you,
Yes.
sir. Thank you, sir. So we both smoking, crying. You know what I mean? Like, because he was telling me, like, he just never would have got the opportunity to see things from Easy's perspective if I wouldn't have brought it like I brought it. You know what I mean? And I was just like, damn, bro, I really appreciate that. But yeah, man, it was a lot of love, bro. It was a lot of love in there that night.
That's good. That's good. Okay, and also you was on one of my favorite series, The Shy.
Okay.
How did you get The Shy? I love The Shy so much. I was mad when they killed you off about it.
Yeah, that shit
How
was
did
some
you get
bullshit.
that?
Well, when I first met Lena, we was at some kind of gala or some shit, but she was fresh. Like, Lena be jumping
Yeah.
fly, like you feel me? And she kind of like could wear whatever she wants. So but I remember she had on like this white suit that had like this bandana kind of vibe on it. You know what I'm saying? And I was like, ooh, this shit fresh as a motherfucker. Like, can I get a picture with you? And she was like, I was about to say the same thing. If I could get a picture with you, I was like, hell yeah. So we went to talking. She was like, I'm a writer, blah, blah, blah. Like, hopefully one day I get to work with you. I'm like, let's, speak it into existence right now. So like after we took the picture, we stood right there and we just prayed. You know what I'm saying? And shit, not long after that, they came in full offer. I ain't even like I think I might have read just for the fuck of it, but you know what I'm saying? Like they came in full offer. They was ready. They was like, yeah, you who we want. I was like, damn. That shit was dope, bro. That shit was dope. I ain't gonna lie. Every time I think about it, I be like, fuck. But God be having his own plan, so I can't go against that. But I definitely missed the shot for sure, man. Shout out to them.
Okay,
Yeah,
so let me, after The Shy and Desperados, with the allegations and all that,
yeah, yeah.
you got dropped from the United Talent Agency and Authentic
Mm-hmm,
Talent Literacy Management.
mm-hmm.
They revoked your MTV awards and everything. So how did you
Yeah.
feel about that? Like knowing your character, the great character you have and everything, and knowing that you feel you ain't do anything wrong. How did that make you feel?
You know, a lot of times, right? I think as people, we lie to ourselves about what's really important.
Mm-hmm.
See what I'm saying? And it wasn't that I had put my accomplishments on a pedestal, but like I was a problem child for so long that I felt like that um it sort of solidified the fact that like nah, I'm an adult, like I could do this, I could, you know what I'm saying. But the truth was all I ever needed was God gave me everything that I needed, you know what I'm saying. I didn't need other people to stamp it for me, to say,
Mhm.
hey, let me give you this award to know you're great, hey, let me put you in this and let me put you with these people who don't give a fuck about you. And
Yeah.
I didn't need none of that shit. You see what I'm saying? And
Yeah.
I felt like it was it was making me a little
Mhm.
bit. You know what I'm saying? And I needed that strip from me a little bit so I could get back to that mind frame of just being myself, because that's how I got there. You know
Mhm.
what I mean? I got there with me and God. Ain't nobody believing me. Ain't nobody. I just was telling you the story. You know what I'm saying? So I needed I needed to go through that to
Mhm.
know that like Hollywood don't make or break me.
Mhm.
You know what I'm saying? An award don't make or break me. None of that. You know what I'm saying? It just is what it is. And as long as I got God and I continue to focus on Him, it is what it is, bro. Because like I was just talking to somebody about this the other day about like I ain't gonna lie to you, bro. Like I ain't the richest man in the world, but I got $1 million crib. Like I'm cool, I'm chilling. You know what I mean? I got my own shit. I'm in my own office, and a lot of times you wake up to like feeling like fuck, man, this ain't enough. This ain't enough. This ain't enough. This ain't enough. But then I go in the next room and I see my kids, and my kids love the shit out of me. You know what I mean? My girl loved the shit out of me. My family respect the shit out of me. And that's really all I need. You know what I'm saying? They got people like look at Trump, bro. Trump was just
Mhm.
he
Focus on
had
killing
so
each
many charges. His wife wasn't there. His kids wasn't there. Like, can you imagine? You know
Yeah.
what I'm saying? Like, I
Yes.
couldn't even imagine. You know what I mean? Elon Musk, he another one. Kids got no respect for him. You know, and
Right.
he's supposedly sitting on top of the world. You know what I mean? So I think I just had to start taking into consideration what was real versus what was fake. You
And
know
I
what I mean?
Yeah, and I felt, I start feeling that same type of way, like, and that made me feel more comfortable now because, like, I used to go to film festivals and like, I know my films is better than these festivals, but they have
Right.
their little clicks, and it's just like the Oscars and all this.
Right.
They snub the black people and everything. So once I started like, this ain't even about awards. This is about me helping people, creating content to help people. And once I
Exactly.
start feeling that, it made start making me feel good also.
Yeah, man. Because at the end of the day, bro, I ain't never had nobody stop me on the street and be like, "Oh yeah, when you see Universal, tell them I said thank you." You know what I mean? Hell no. If
Yeah.
anything, they be like, "Tell Showtime we said fuck them for taking you off their show." You know what I mean? Because they love me,
Yeah.
bro. You know, and I appreciate it. You know, like even you hitting me. You know what I'm saying? Like these little things are the things that keep me going.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Because it's not little to me at all that people respect my work and they respect what I put my all into. You know what I'm saying? So I appreciate this shit like more than you know, bro.
And I
For real.
appreciate you. So
For
let me
real.
ask you this,
Good, dude.
let me ask you this. So, when it was good, everybody was around you, and people turned their back on you and everything
Mhm.
got bad. How do you feel about that?
Um, the worst part about that was the people that I had around was like my real family and not my play family.
Mm.
You know what I'm saying? Because you start getting money and them motherfuckers who you ain't really fuck with start coming around and all of that type
Yeah,
of shit.
all the
Like
time.
I ain't really had them problems. If I
Mm,
ain't fuck with you then, I ain't fucking with you now. Like that wasn't no issue for me. It was the family that I put in position to make something of themselves. You
mm,
know what I'm saying? It was those people who I had issues with. You know what I'm saying? Even before shit start burning and crashing, you know what I mean? Motherfuckers was stealing money and doing this behind your back and talking like this about you. You know what I'm saying? So I think it was more that for me. Like I couldn't believe that like my whole family wanted me to lift them up over my head, and then as soon as I fall, y'all not there to lift me up. How the fuck that go? You know what I mean? Like a triangle go like this. You know what I mean? It's
The fact, yeah.
yeah, the you know what I mean? The base of it need to be strong.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So for me, it was just um having to eat that. You
Mm,
know what I'm saying? Because at the end of the day, like God can't bless you unless you're in a blessable situation. You gotta have blessable circumstances. You feel me?
mhm.
And it was just hard because you hear this shit all the time. Everybody can't go. Everybody started with you ain't gonna make it. And blah 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 blah. But when it's your siblings,
Yeah.
you know what I'm saying? When it's your
People that
cousins,
close to you.
people you ain't got no memories without. You know what I'm saying? Like that shit hurt, bro. That
Yeah,
shit hurt.
I can
But like I said, man, God always be having a plan. You know what I'm saying? And you could hear it all the time, but until you feel it and go through it, you know what I mean? Like people say you ain't no real hustler until you lose it all and make it back. You know what I mean?
imagine.
And
Right.
that's the truth. That's the truth. So
Yeah. So let me ask you this. With you, you've been in the industry a while, and like even with dealing with that situation,
mhm.
there are really no like support groups for like black men, and like I've witnessed this stuff too. Like
Yeah.
when people feel you are in power, you get lied on, all type of stuff. Like
Mhm.
rumors, lies spread about you. What
Mhm.
adjustments have you made to your life since that situation?
So randomly, bro, I ended up moving to Dallas. It was a total random situation because I wasn't even supposed to move here, right? But I went to Poland, right? Did a movie in Poland and ended up meeting a guy. Because after I did that, I went on a little vacation in Greece. So I met this dude in Greece, this white guy named Henry. And me and him was just talking. He was like, "Where you live?" I was like, "In Dallas." He was like, "I live in Dallas." I was like, "Man, what the fuck?" He was like, "Yeah, so you should come check out our Bible study." I'm like, "All right, bet." Now I'm super weird with churches because I done been in situations and they're like, "Oh, brother Mitchell,
I
in the
know.
back, why don't you come sit up front and give us $5,000 for
Yeah,
you know what I
pass
mean?"
the
Like
collection plate
I ain't
around.
trying to go through that shit, right? So I'm
Yeah.
like, all right. So I end up going and this in this guy's backyard. This guy named Alex Venturakis, great dude. Um, damn, hold on, shit, what happened just now? My bad.
All right, good.
People calling. No, so this guy Alex Venturakis, great dude, great man of God. You know what I mean? He and also rich as shit, crazy, but he had like this setup in his backyard, and he was like, "Yeah, we're EFL, Equipped for Life. It's all men's group, right?
Mhm.
And you can go back there, you can smoke your cigar, whatever, just chill. You know what I mean? And we're gonna talk about the Lord. It's like, all right, you know what I mean? I ain't really know what to expect, but I was like, all right, I'm kind of vibing with this. And now, bro, that's a weekly thing for me.
Mm,
You know what I'm saying? Because being around real men
mm,
and men with their own version of success and they own cutout. Because see, a lot of times what start happening when you get bread, you be in your own world and in your own pocket. And it don't take fame and stardom to do that because all money spend the same. You see what I'm saying? So like there was a lot of people who I could relate to, and I'm talking about from the bottom of the bottom, drug addict status to the top of the top, rich as hell. I got mad businesses. I do $30 million deals. You know what I'm saying? So it was just the best group of people for me to be in. And now that I'm in this group, not only am I confident about um speaking about what I believe and how I feel because I know more about it, but I'm also more confident in being a man because I know I got a real support system. You get
mm.
what I'm saying? Like a lot of people don't have support and they have emotional issues and all of that shit. And then when it all come tumbling down, like you end up like my daddy. You
Mm.
know what I mean? My daddy shot himself in the head and they ain't find him for 3 weeks. You see what I'm saying? Like that's some wild shit when you think about it, bro. You know what I mean? That's the definition of no support right there. You know?
Right.
So
So,
yeah.
how was it like working with Jaquavis Coleman?
Oh, that's my guy. That's my guy. Jaquavis is interesting. You know what I'm saying? Because he's one of those people who like he know exactly what he want out of something, you know. And a lot of times you don't really see a lot of creatives that are like that, you know. And film is the most collaborative creation that you can have. So in order to convey exactly what you want to everybody around you is not always easy, you know. So that was something that was beautiful. But even before that, I was living in New York, and he was just asking me about life and like how you doing and how are things, what you going through. Like he just gave a fuck about me as a person, you know. And he ended up sending me some books, and I was like, I really fuck with your shit. You know what I mean? Like I fuck with your shit, bro. Like, you know. So he was like, all right, so you know, I think I want to turn one of these books into a movie. I'm like, nigga, what you thinking? Because if I'm not about to be the lead, I'm gonna be tight. You know what I mean? He was like, no, that's exactly what I'm thinking. So I was like, all right, bet. So one thing just turned into another. But what I learned the most from him was how to bet on myself. You know what I'm saying? Because it's so many moving pieces in film and so much money being spent that like it's scary to bet on yourself like that. You know what I'm saying? But yeah, he helped me like really get my mind right when it came to that. So yeah, man, I thank God for Jaquavis all the time. That's my brother.
Okay. On your journey, what would you say? You know, you've been doing a lot of things. What would you say has been your greatest challenge?
Ooh. Um, second guessing myself.
Mm,
You know, I really, and I'm still in the process of breaking this habit. But like a lot of times, you know, you think you might have a good idea, or you think you really want to go on something, so you go ask 15 more people, and then you know all of them might say, "Oh, that's a good idea," but that's a good
mm,
idea. But this is what I think. This is what I think. This is what I think. And by the time you you try to go through with it, not only do you have all these other fears that have projected onto you, but you also wasted like another 2 months. You know what I mean? Trying to get responses from everybody. And at the end of the day, like, why should you be listening to anybody except the higher power? That's the truth. You know what I
Facts.
mean? He gave me a hell of a bag to dig in. So why the fuck am I asking anybody else about it? You know what I mean? That's just the
Facts.
truth. So so yeah, man, that's been the hardest thing for me, just to stay focused on what's for me, you know, because it's easy a lot of times for somebody else to give me a script and I say, all right, this is what I think, this is what I think, this is what I think, and then I jump into it.
Yeah.
Versus saying, you know what, I'm gonna write a little bit every day.
Mm-hmm.
I'm gonna do something for me every day. I'm gonna have good habits. I'm gonna do something every day for me. It's
Mm-hmm.
hard. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, that's been the biggest challenge, bro. But you know, I'm just trying to continue to grab this shit by the horns and keep it moving.
All right. What would you say has been your greatest accomplishment?
Whew. Um, I'd have to say, you know, the way my kids love me and the way they respect me, you
Mm,
know, because um I did the MTV Awards one time and it's not live, you know what I mean? So
yeah.
like they used to call my job getting on the airplane. They're like, "Daddy gotta get on the airplane." I was like, "Yeah." you know, but I had flew out to LA to go do it. And when I came home, they um they watched it with me on TV. And that was the first time that they ever understood, because to them, me dressing up as another character and doing a movie was very insignificant. They just wanted their daddy to be at home. You know what I mean? But they was like, "Oh, okay, we understand now. So when you get on the airplane, you go inside the TV." I was like, "Kinda, yeah, yeah, yeah," you know. But to look at where we are now and to have the sort of relationship that I have with them now, because they 10 and 12, you know, so they getting to the point where like I hear them tell other people things that I've taught them. You know, like my oldest Royce, she was like, somebody asked her her favorite color, and she was like, "Well, I have more than one, but I think that black is my favorite color." And it was like, "Why?" And she was like, "Because black is every color, black is everything, you know, and you know, people want you to believe that black is bad when you see black cats and you see this and that it's bad. That's not the truth, You know what I'm saying? Like being black is nothing is wrong with that. So I think that's my favorite color. And I was like, I instill that in somebody, you know what I mean? So yeah, man, my kids are definitely my biggest accomplishment, bro, for damn sure. You know what I mean? Cause the things that I've done so far, to be honest, where I want to be is like it's small potatoes. Like I respect it. I do. I respect it. I respect, like when they were like, "Oh, Jason Mitchell snubbed at the Oscars. Oscars so white." I'm like, but to be honest, I started this Dream Seeker 501c3. Like to teach people how to shoot movies. 25 years. I won a Dream Seeker award, if not award show. You know what I mean? This is the type of level I be thinking on. Like Tyler Perry showed us all, like, nigga, you see what 50 on right now. Like, that's what I'm on. I'm like, look, fuck one movie or one award. I'm about to be on some Jerry Bruckheimer, Warner Brothers. Like, you know what I mean? I'm about to turn the fuck up, bro. I'm telling you, like, no reason to stop. You know what I mean? I think we all have our own version of what the cap and what the ceiling look like. I'm just still trying to find mine.
Still trying to find, man.
Oh God.
Well, let me ask you this, Jay. Do you have anything coming up that you want to promote?
Okay, so I did so after working with the great Jaquavis Coleman, I've been stepping into the producer role a lot more and not just acting. So I did a film with Wes Miller called Black Heat, right? So NLE Chopper is in it. Dream Doll is in it, and it's going to ABFF right now, and they also nominating the kid for best actor. So pray for me. We'll see how that go. I know I'm just talking shit about awards, but I'll take them. You know what I mean? So yeah, like we actually did that during the strike. Like we kept it super super low, and again put our own bag up and was like, fuck it, we're gonna shoot our own shit. So we did that. So to be able to get into ABFF was, it was pretty big as a producer, you know what I mean, for that to happen. And also I've been, because I feel like until I've officially bridged the gap between those with no information and those with opportunity, that I really haven't done nothing. You know what I'm saying? So I put out this ad to get like a, a producer, like a post producer or whatever, somebody who could just edit for me and all of that type of shit. And through that, I got so many entries. People like, I know you ain't looking for this, but I do this. I had niggas who make beats, all type of shit. They go like, nigga, this what I do. Sign me up. You know what I'm saying? And it started making me look at things for what they really were. Like, hold up, I'm definitely one of the leaders of the culture, especially in film. Like, I'm tripping. This is what I'm supposed to be doing. I'm supposed to be creating a pipeline that's going to directly help people who have my same struggle. You know what I mean? And that don't mean just street shit. It's all about the opportunity. You know what I mean? And all about the information. So what I've been doing is, you know, siphoning out the best, the cream of the crop in my area. And like this weekend we'll be going into production right now, but I did the writers first, then I did the actors, then I did the directors. You know what I mean? I was like, we gonna siphon out these people till we get some good people, and I did that with every sense of it. Producers, cameramen, we giving everybody opportunities, editors. And yeah, it's like it's different when people see you on the ground, you know what I mean, and you actually touching people and you touching your situation. So yeah, man, I want to continue to promote people like yourself, my brother. You know what I mean? Like that's what this promotion is all about. So yeah,
I
hopefully
appreciate you, man. Appreciate you. So
yeah.
let the people know where they can find you at, Mr. Jason Mitchell.
You can find me in St. Louis rolling them good. No. No. You can hear Nelly in a minute. At Jason Mitchell Actor, right? I also got this other page called Hollywood BS. That's on pretty much every platform, and I'm pretty active. You know what I mean? If it's not me, it's somebody directly from the team. So if you see me, on some other platform, and you feel like you really want to get in touch with me, we will make it happen. You know, as this good fella here could tell you right now, like I'm all about the support. You know, I
Facts,
just, my
facts.
only thing is I expect professionalism
Mhm,
because that's a standard I hold myself to.
mhm.
So, you know, if you professional, you got your shit together, or even if you trying to get your shit together, we can help you. You know what I'm saying? We can help you because I want to see
Facts,
people win. You know, and I'm not at all
yeah,
insecure about losing my spot. You know what I'm saying? So I definitely help in whatever way I can. So
facts. All right, so let me ask you this: then. What
yeah.
advice would you give to actor, anybody, or writer, direct anybody who's trying to get in the industry? Period.
I think find a community, you
Mm,
know, because I think a lot of times we must we put people in places that they don't necessarily deserve to be when
mm,
it comes to our gift. You know what I'm saying? We putting our life into this, we putting our heart into this. And sometimes for some people it's just money.
mhm.
You know what I mean?
Yeah,
But the reality of this situation is you could take yourself, a couple of other people, and maybe just one person who really believe in that goal and take that shit to the moon. You know
mhm,
what I mean? Most records that we've seen that blew had that situation. Most great movies that we've seen had that situation, you know? So I think try not to look at your circumstances as something that's holding you down, but more of something that's inspiring you, and go out and find the community. And if you can't find that community, like, be aggressive about creating it. You
facts.
get what I'm saying? Because me, dog, like, can't nobody tell me about no acting classes and all of that, because I didn't went since, like, I've been in Dallas.
Mm,
I done went and just pulled up and just monitor people's classes,
mm,
just checking them out, just seeing what they working with. See, you know what I mean? Because it ain't no such thing as being the best actor. I might as well figure this shit out. I go to different showcases. I be pulling up on agencies. Like, I don't care. I'm good.
you
Because
gotta
what's
be
the worst that
that.
can happen? You end up in the same spot you was before. You know what I mean? So, yeah,
Yeah.
man, get out here and be memorable, man. Go
Yeah,
shake some shit up, you know?
yeah,
For
facts.
real.
I appreciate that. Okay, so
Hell
my
yeah.
last question that I love
Yeah.
to ask all my guests:
Yeah.
when it is all said and done, and you are long gone from this earth, what is it that you want the people to know about Jason Mitchell?
Um, I want them to know, for one, that when I was here, I gave it up 100% with love,
Mm,
you know? And I also want to create something that changed the situation, that moved the needle, in one way or another. You know what I'm saying? Not just my bad, hold on. Not just in the sense of emotional roller coasters that you send people on. Hmm, my bad.
it's like,
Not just in the sense of like an emotional roller coaster that you send somebody on, but more in the sense of he created this film school in Africa for people to, you know what I'm saying? Like, these are the kind of goals that I be setting for myself. You know what I mean? Like, I really want to do something that's going to change everything
mm,
for us, from the way we eat to the way we live to the way we communicate with each other. Because I've been a part of the problem. I'm just trying to be a part of the solution.
mm, I
Yeah.
like that. Well, listen, Mr. Jason, I appreciate you. It's like people just like you have inspired me. Like, even when I was in school, I was the only African American in the film program, period,
Yeah.
and just like you said, that grind, like I made my way out. I started doing a lot of things, like you said, pulling up on everybody, hustling, everything, you know what I'm saying? And I've like I said, I've been got awarded with film festivals. My music just got nominated 2 years ago at the
That's
Hollywood Music Awards. So
up.
the grind, bro, like and just looking at you, watching your growth, because like I said, straight out of college, it came out when I was in college, so just seeing your blueprint, seeing the trials and tribulations you went through and still doing it, and I respect you for that, and thank you, and keep
Thank
on
you.
pushing, brother.
I appreciate you. I appreciate you. And hopefully this is one of many more. You know
Oh
what
yeah,
I mean?
yeah, I
'Cause I
already know
enjoyed
this.
this.
We gonna work together. I'm manifesting this into reality. I'm speaking it into
Hey,
existence. I
yes, Lord. Yes, Lord. Let's do it. Let's do it. You
all
say
right,
you
no
in
problem.
St. Louis, right?
Yeah, yep, St. Louis up in this piece.
All right,
Yeah.
all right. Well, if
All
I
right,
happen
and
to
I'm gonna
pop out that way, man, I'm gonna pull up on
yeah,
you.
hit me up, bro. We got
Yes,
each
sir.
other numbers. So look, and I'm gonna when we get out from, I'm gonna send you some of my film so you can check them out and everything.
Yeah, man, send me some stuff.
All right, I got you. All right, have a good day.
All right, my
Appreciate you
brother.
again, brother. I'll let
Hey,
you know when
same
it
here.
drop. It'll probably drop sometime next week. So,
I bet.
all right, peace out. See you later.
All right, later.